Welcome. Now, before we get into this, you might be asking, who is this? This is Cinnamon. This is me and my girlfriend's multi-poo. If you like cinnamon, I appreciate a W cinnamon in the comments. In today's video, I'm going to be updating my net worth for August of 2025. Now, I think I'm going to make a series out of this depending on if you guys like this type of content and support it, where pretty much every month, usually around the first week of the month, I'll check in with my net worth and give you guys an update of where I'm looking as far as my assets and liabilities go. So I think I'm going to structure it as, a road to 100K because, I'm on the track to getting there. And I kind of got the inspiration to start doing this from Keep Going and his YouTube videos on it. I'll put a kind of picture of his channel up here if you want to go follow him. He kind of makes the similar content as I do. But yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm going to go through my total assets, my total liabilities, and kind of break down where and why I have money allocated. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's get into tracking my net worth. Now, a few things looking at my actual net worth page here. As you can see, I have my assets and liabilities separated, the nice little graph here. This over here is everything that I actually invest my money into specifically. So these are all the single stocks I buy, the cryptocurrency I buy, and where I, invest my money in my 401ks. Now, also, the last time that I tracked this 2024 net worth was December. Now we're in August. So I have tracked it a few times. I think the last time I tracked it was March, but we're going to start fresh in August. And like I said, if you guys like this video, I'll keep it reoccurring and I'll probably break this out so we can see it month over month, right? So getting into it here, we're going to start with my Wells Fargo checking account. Now, I have this money allocated over here on this notebook, so I can just type it in for you guys. And these numbers were checked as of earlier this morning, around 2 hours ago. All right, so starting with my Wells Fargo checking account. As of right now, I have $4,175.68 in my Wells Fargo checking account. Now, I know you might think, wow, that's a lot of money to have in your checking account. Well, the reason I have that much money in my checking account is because from the research and market research I've been doing, depending on if Trump imposes tariffs tomorrow, which would be August 7th, the stock market might go on a little bit of a decline, a little bit of a downturn. And if that is to happen, I want money on hand ready to invest, ready to double down into certain stocks I like or into certain ETFs that I like. So that's why I have that much money sitting in my checking account. Now, if the stock market, let's say, does not take a downturn tomorrow or within the next week, I'll continue my dollar cost averaging strategy and then I'll just take this money and put the majority of it back into my high yield savings account. Now, that's easy to do because, there's no transaction fee, so pretty easy to flip-flop money, but I like to have it, on hand when I think or hear of something that might be happening. Next is going to be my SoFi checking account. Now, I do not use SoFi Bank as a checking account. I strictly use SoFi Bank for my high yield savings account. So year over year, looking at it, we are still at $0 on my SoFi checking account. Next is going to be my Wells Fargo savings account. Now, this is kind of money that this would be my kind of easy to access savings account. So, anything from my high yield savings account usually takes about 2 business days to process. This is just quick money I can pull from a savings account if I need it. If any emergency comes up, vehicle or whatever it might be. This is quick money that I can access at any time. My Wells Fargo savings account, I have $2,871.08 in my Wells Fargo savings account right now. So, like I said, quick money, liquid, I can access it whenever is needed. And I can pull from it in case I want to invest into Bitcoin or into an ETF if it were to drop. Next is going to be my SoFi high yield savings account. Now, this is where the majority of my money sits, my cash position sits. And if you look last year, I had a huge cash position. And after listening to some of you guys and a lot of people, it was good for me to trim that down and get that money working for me and investing it. Now, what's cool with my high yield savings account is I do currently earn about 3.8% APY on it. So not terrible, but it would definitely do better to trim that position down and get it investing in the stock market. So that's what I did. But right now with my, high yield savings account from SoFi, I have $376 and 76 cents in that account. So that is going to be the majority of my cash position just sitting there. And once again, that main majority of that money is for a down payment on a house. But obviously, that might not be for a few years from now. So I stay pretty mobile with that money, but the majority of that has been saved up in hopes to put it down on a house. Next is going to be my T. Rowe Price account. So this account is a 401k that was set up with a part-time job that I had, that I actually recently had put my 2 weeks in. Now I worked with this company for about 3 years, working around, I'd say 20 to 30 hours a week. So this is, small paycheck, small movement, but it was nice to have a 401k with them while I was there. So my T. Rowe Price account, I'm actually going to roll this over into my retirement account with Empower. But for right now, with my T. Rowe Price account, we are looking at $6,847.43 in that account. Next is going to be my Empower retirement account. Now, this is my main 401k. This has been with my full-time employer for the past 4 years. I started this when I turned 21 with the company. And I used to work full-time for this company. Without getting into too much of the details, this was my main job before I had started working with the other company. So I was able to put, a good amount of money into this 401k, and I still contribute to this every paycheck. Now, right now with my Empower retirement account, I'm sitting right at around $19,586.86 for that account for my Empower retirement. Like I said, this is my main 401k where I contribute 8% a paycheck to this. The company matches 6%. Next is my Fidelity Brokerage account. Now, this account, I'll be honest, I do not take seriously. Recently, I posted a short where I was going to try a challenge to turn $100 into $1,000 in 30 days. And then I realized how hard that actually is to 10x your money in 30 days, especially since I'm a very long-term investor. So I bought about $50 of Fubo because I thought Fubo was going to do really good when their earnings came out. And that $50 of Fubo is now $46.20. So pretty good at losing $3 there. And I'm probably going to sell out of that position and put that into my Roth. But hey, that's what a brokerage is for, right? Making little quick decisions like that. And then coming down the line here, this is my Roth IRA. So this is my personal Roth account. This is where, every single day I buy into. I have automatic payments set up with Fidelity that every single day, whether the stock market is up or down, I'm currently buying into my Roth. And over here, you can see my actual Roth positions. So I know I've talked about this before, but about 60% of my Roth is made up of VU. About 30% of my Roth is made up with QQQM. And then the other 10% is all these single stocks right here that I like to buy into. But like I said, every day, every single week, I'm buying into my Roth IRA. And I'm almost maxed out, honestly. So when I max it out, I'll probably switch over back into my brokerage. But for now, with my Roth IRA, I'm at $10,000, 418.22 in my Roth right now. Next is going to be my crypto holdings. Now, majority of that is going to be Bitcoin and XRP. The other coins I have, which are Shiba, HBAR, XLM, and Beam, these are all like really speculative, plays. Just a disclaimer, none of this is financial advice, by the way. This is just how I have my finances. So if you do not agree with this, do not agree with it because this is not financial advice. Bitcoin and XRP are my main crypto holdings. And if you guys are into crypto, you probably know that recently there was a nice little run up with crypto. So my crypto account went up a pretty good amount. Now, I currently buy weekly Bitcoin, and I kind of buy XRP whenever I feel like it, but I always am buying Bitcoin weekly. Right now, with my crypto holdings, I'm at $15,297.91. Now, obviously, this is more high risk, but I'm a young guy, right? So I can afford the high risk. If this 15,000 was to turn to zero tomorrow, it is what it is, right? You win some, you lose some. So, my actual advice to you guys is do not put money into cryptocurrency that you're not afraid to lose, because once again, it's still very speculative. There's not a lot of regulations on it, so just be careful with it. But that's my crypto holdings as of right now. And then lastly, when I made my previous video on my net worth, I forgot to put my vehicle equity in there. And a lot of you guys had mentioned that, saying that my net worth is probably higher because of my vehicle equity. So looking at my vehicle equity, if I were to sell my vehicle right now, KBB value on it with the mileage it has, with the year it is, I could probably sell it right now for $14,000. And honestly, if I found the right buyer, probably a little bit higher, but we'll be conservative and say $14,000. So those are my total assets. Add everything up, asset wise, I'm at 98,620 and 14 cents, which is pretty good in my opinion. You know, so let's get into liabilities now. Now, my Wells Fargo credit card, I have $0. My Discover credit card, I did have to put very recently, as in yesterday, put some money on my Discover credit card. So that put me up a little bit. Now, I'll probably pay this off pretty quickly, whether it's later today or probably sometime next week, but I'll definitely pay this off before any type of interest hits. And on my Discover card, I have $492.50 on it. Next is going to be financing services. Now, these are like your buy now, pay later. And I know I made a tier list saying do not use buy now, pay later, but hey, sometimes we all succumb to the temptation, right? So I unfortunately did buy something with buy now, pay later. It happens to the best of us. Now the plan I chose is a 0% interest plan, but I'm not making any excuses. Right now with the financing service, I currently owe $488.72 on it. Capital One credit card, $0. And my auto loan. So I looked at the payoff amount this morning of my vehicle. Currently, what I owe on my vehicle, if I wanted to pay it off tomorrow, is $18,919.09 on my vehicle. So total liabilities, we're at $19,900. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably yelling at the screen saying, just pay off your credit card, pay off the financing services, and maybe pay off your auto loan. And while, yes, I will pay off my credit card and I will pay off the financing services, I've always been iffy on paying off auto loans. The reason why is I do have a good interest rate on it. My car payment's very low. So it's something that I'm not in a rush to pay off. And personally, I'd rather take that $18,000 and throw it into investments than pay off my auto loan. Because like I said, the interest rate's good on it and the payments, not too bad. Now, if I had a $700 car payment and an 8% interest rate, obviously I'd be working on paying that down as soon as possible. But the fact that my auto loan is pretty conservative, I'm not worried about paying it off instantly. Whereas the credit card and the financing services, more than likely, I'm going to wipe that off pretty quickly. So yeah, that's pretty much my net worth at a glance here. So we can see total assets, I'm at $98,620.14. Total liabilities, let's do this here. I'm at $19,931. So that's putting me at a positive net worth of $78,719.83. Now, before to kind of wrap it up here, first of all, Mom, Dad, if you guys are watching this, shout out to you guys, because none of this would be possible if I was not living with my parents. If you guys are watching this and you have the opportunity to live with your parents and become financially literate, I promise you it's going to set you ahead of so many other people in your age group, and just set you up for success in the future. Now, the main thing I want to tell you guys about my net worth here and why I wanted to make this video. Still, to this day, I make $19 an hour. I do not make more than $19 an hour. I do not have side hustles. YouTube does not pay me a lot of money. So far, to be completely transparent with you guys, I've made about $250 on YouTube, and I have not withdrawn that money yet. It's still just sitting in my YouTube account. So I make $19 an hour. What I wanted to prove to you guys with this video is if you can become financially literate and you have a financial plan for yourself, whether it's investing or saving or keeping your debt low, whatever it might be, you can literally accomplish anything you want to if you're not making a lot of money. I know a lot of people who make $19 an hour and they're broke and they live with their parents, right? And that's not a knock to them, but it's just the fact that if you can become financially literate and you do not have a mortgage or rent to pay, you can really imagine if I was making $30 an hour or $40 an hour. I wish, right? But right now I'm making $19 an hour. And in the past 8 months, I've increased my net worth about $14,000. So all that comes from is just constant investing, sticking to my plan, not being shaken out of the market if it drops or goes up, constantly buying, dollar cost averaging, keeping my debt low, saving my money, and I do all of it automatically, right? Fidelity, I have all my automatic payments set up. Crypto, I have all my automatic payments set up. And it just goes to show you that over time, it gets easier. And I know at first it's going to seem like, I don't, why am I investing $5 a day? Promise you it adds up. And you do not need to make hundreds of thousands of dollars to be financially independent. Now, yeah, sure, if I were to get a mortgage tomorrow of 400,000, well, that would knock me down a lot. But the truth is, I've built up the mindset to be financially smart at no matter what stage I'm at in life. So that's kind of what I want you guys to know, that no matter what you're making at your job or whatever it might be, become financially literate, find a plan, stick to it, and your net worth will always, always go up no matter what. So, once again, none of this financial advice, just showing you guys what I go through, how my finances are set up. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see this on a month over month basis, you want me to do September and October, I'd be more than happy to. Just let me know, and I can make this a reoccurring thing. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.